The company rule. How did it shape India's destiny? The East India Company, once a powerful trading entity, evolved into the dominant force controlling much of India from 1773 to 1858. Its rule reshaped India's economy, politics, and society, often at great cost to its people. Through monopolies, exploitative taxation, and devastating agricultural policies, the company extracted immense wealth from the land while leaving millions in poverty. However, this era also sparked growing resistance, culminating in the First War of Indian Independence in 1857. Delves into the legacy of the East India Company and how its rule continues to influence modern India. What was the East India Company's role in India? The East India Company, a British trading entity, effectively ruled India from 1773 to 1858. Initially established for trade, it quickly expanded its influence, gradually assuming political and military control. By the 18th century, the company was the de facto ruler of much of India, aided by a series of military victories and strategic alliances. How did the company rule affect India's economy? Under the company's control, India's economy was restructured to serve British interests. The company monopolized trade, exploited resources, and extracted heavy taxes, leading to widespread poverty. Agricultural policies focused on cash crops, neglecting food production, resulting in frequent famines. India's rich handicrafts and textile industries were decimated, shifting the economic balance towards Britain. Was there any resistance to the company's rule? India witnessed multiple uprisings during the company rule, with some of the notable ones being the First War of Indian Independence in 1857. Various regions rebelled against the company's oppressive policies, though these efforts were often crushed with brutal force. The company's rule fueled growing dissatisfaction, leading to demands for reforms and ultimately independence. What led to the end of the company rule? The Indian Rebellion of 1857, though unsuccessful in overthrowing British rule, marked the end of the East India Company's reign. The British government took direct control over India through the Government of India Act 1858. This shifted power from the company to the crown, marking the beginning of the British Raj. Is the legacy of the company rule still relevant today? The company's policies left a lasting impact on India's political, economic, and social structures. Many of the issues India faces today, like economic disparities, industrial imbalances, and administrative inefficiencies, can be traced back to the exploitation during this period. The era also sowed the seeds for the Indian freedom struggle, setting the stage for eventual independence. What can we learn from the company rule? The East India Company's rule highlights the dangers of unchecked corporate power, the exploitation of resources for profit, and the consequences of colonial domination. As global trade expands, understanding this dark chapter in history is crucial for preventing such excesses in the future. In conclusion, the East India Company rule fundamentally altered India's trajectory. While it brought about the spread of British culture, infrastructure, and education, the negative consequences far outweigh the positive. Understanding this era is essential for contextualizing India's post-colonial struggle and its path toward modernity.